So how a Prusik knot works is, this is maybe a foot of cord, and you just take a loop, and I typically just bend it over the line, and then pull this tight, flip it over, and put it back through the loop, making sure that these are staying lined up, just so it doesn't get too messy. And then you just pull tight, and if I want to tie it around the tarp, just take one of the loose ends. And when it comes to tying knots, I like to keep things simple, so I'll just take one of these loose ends. Oops. There we go. Take a loose end, do an overhand knot. Tie that tight, and then you just pull this tight ridge line to your tarp. Stake in. Make sure that the hook is going always outwards. So if this has any upwards pressure or back and forth, both those points are down in the dirt, so it's not going to shake itself loose. So there's one. And the reason I like this style of camping is just because it's really light and it's really comfortable. The only thing that I prefer tent camping over this is you have a place to put all your stuff. Tent campers and hammockers are very different breeds, and there's some people that cross over like myself, which I like both of them. The only reason I don't like hammocking in certain seasons or at certain times is just because you have a ton of gear in the winter, or it's really cold or something like that. If you're not a super hardcore hammocker, then you don't always necessarily have the gear to keep your gear dry or to stay warm in negative 10-degree temperatures. Those who do, my hat off to them, but I definitely don't. So if you see this side's nice and tight and this side's gone a bit slack, I'm gonna wait to tighten up the other side and put those stakes in first before I decide to adjust those, because it could just tighten up on the side when I put the other ones in. And if not, like I said before, you can always adjust it. So these bits of paracord are really long. I'm not cutting them at the moment. I usually don't cut my paracord unless I'm in camp. The only reason so is there's really no need for it unless there's a immediate reason to cut my rope that's detrimental to me camping. But that usually doesn't happen. So I like to keep these in about 25 or 50 foot increments. And I have, if you can see, this one's a high visibility yellow and that one's black. I really don't have much of a preference. The high visibility yellow is nice because obviously you can see it in any lighting conditions. But at the same time, if you're trying to be a little more discreet and have a bit more privacy, you can kind of give away where you're camping. And those who like a bit more privacy when they're camping may not like high visibility colors like this is. So obviously I don't want to leave this hanging all out here. I don't have my rope tying tool, so I'm just going to wrap it around my hand real quick. And then I like to do just a bite, put it through, pull that tight, and just leave it there. And that keeps it, for the most part, keeps it all together. Unless you have a chipmunk picking at it or something. can't tell, 2.5 hitch is my preferred knot for tying things off, just because it could be adjusted, and it's a very quick and easy knot to tie. I know others that could be used. I mean, even for this, I could use a bowline knot instead of an overhand. That's a lot easier to pull out, but honestly, this is quick and easy. If you can tell, this is nice and tight now. Like before, there's not sag. And oh, that corner could use a bit tightening, but there we go. So if you look, if you have these lines, it means that this corner is loose. So if I just pull it out, pull it tight and move it back just a few inches, boom, nice and tight, ready for pretty much any weather. Now the trick is getting in your hammock. Since this is very low profile and it's very close to the physical hammock itself, you have to squeeze in. So get this done. Just move my sleeping bag to the side, pull up my mosquito net. Nice thing about this is you can brush your feet off. And if you walk barefoot, for the most part like I do, you have these big old hunks of pine stuck to your toes. And it's nice to be able to hang up, brush those off, and get in. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.